All right, so today what I want to do is I want to talk to you all about how we're going to calculate our returns, our actual returns on the portfolio that we've constructed, or the two portfolios we constructed. Now to do this, let me first of all make a little change in this spreadsheet. I want to put in BA for Boeing. And now I want to go back to my portfolio, and then let me adjust the amount of money I have invested in that account. Let me invest $1 million in there. No, that's $10 million. It's too much money. Let me take it down by 1. Okay, good. So we got $1 million in there. Okay, great. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to talk about, we want to record when we purchased the security and what we paid for it. So when we purchased the security and what we paid for it. So we're going to purchase this Boeing stock on February 1. So I'm going to change this date. So let me put that in as date. Two, 1. Okay, so February 1. And let's say, what did I pay for this stock on February 1? Let me go over here and find out. 207.93 is what I paid. So this would be in your purchase order in stock track, $207.93. Okay, now we're going to value this stock. Let's value it as of the first day in April. So first day in April, the stock price is $252.96. So the stock price would be $252.96. That's the day we're going to value the portfolio, $252.96. All right, and then that date is going to be April 1. So it's going to be date 221, 4, 1. All right, so now, so again, we purchased the stock on February 1 for $207.93, and we're going to value the stock as of April 1, and the stock had a price at that point of $252.96. All right. So now the first thing we want to do is we want to get the raw change in price. So the raw change in price is going to be the difference between what we paid for it and what it's worth when we're valuing it. So the formula is going to be G5 minus E5. So G5 minus E5, that's going to be the raw change in price. That's the difference between a 207.93 $252.96. Now the next thing we need to do is figure out how many days we held these securities. So we need to know the number of days between April 1 and February 1. So we need to know the number of days between April 1 and February 1. So that's going to be the difference between H5 minus F5. All right, so that's going to be 59 days. That's going to be 59 days. Now we want to know what is what's going to be the raw change in the price as a percentage. The raw change in the price as a percentage. We want to know what is the raw change in the price as a percentage. Now the way we're going to do that is we take this raw change number here and divide it by our initial purchase price, which is the $207.93. So again, our increase in value was $45.03. We're going to divide that by the 207.93, and then we're going to multiply all of that by 100 to turn it into a percentage. So let's do that. So this is I5 divided by E5. I5 divided by E5 plus I5 divided by E5. All right, so when we do that, we get a 21% increase in the price of that Boeing stock over that 59-day period. So we get a 21.66% increase in the price. The next thing we need to do is we need to annualize our return. We need to annualize our return. Now, how do we do that? The easiest way to do this is we're going to essentially come up with an annualization factor. So I'm going to change this to annualization factor. And that's a fancy way of saying I'm going to take that 59 days, I'm going to divide it into 365, and it's going to give me a multiple. So I'm going to take the 59 days divided into 365, it's going to give me a multiple. The formula for that is going to be plus 365 divided by these 59 days. So our annualization factor is 6.19 times. The next thing we need to do is we need to annualize our return. We need to annualize our return. Now, how do we do that? The way to do it is to take the annualization factor times the raw change and divide that over the base price. So let's do it that way. So here's the annualization factor times the raw change and divide all of that by the base price. That gives us the right return. All right, so that gives us 133.98. All right, so now let me review what I just did, because you're going to have to do this for all of the securities in your portfolio. You're going to have to do this for all of the securities in your portfolio. You're going to have to go back, look through your stock track, and figure out what did you pay for, the net asset value for your mutual fund, or you're going to have to figure out what you pay per share for the stocks in each of your two portfolios. You're going to put that here. This is your purchase price. It goes right here. So in the case of Boeing, I paid $207.93 on February 1st for that Boeing stock. Now that it's the end of the semester, what I want you to figure out what kind of return you made on the various securities in your portfolio. All right, so it doesn't matter to me which day you pick during that first 2 weeks of April. Any day is fine, as long as you properly calculate the number of days the security was held, and you calculate the raw change, which is going to be, and in this case, the price at purchase is $207.93 as of February 1st, 2021. The price on the valuation day is $259.36, and I'm using the valuation day of April 5th, 2021. The raw change in the stock price, and the good news is my stock went up. So it went up by $51.43, which is the difference between the $259.36 and the $207.93. And I calculate the number of days of securities held between April 5th, 2021 and February 1st, 2021, and that was 63 days. I've also calculated the raw percentage change in the price. And when I say raw percentage change, I mean just that percentage change of the price over the course of that 63 days. So the way I calculate that percentage is I take this $51.43 and it's divided by this purchase price, $207.93, and we get a raw change in the price of 24.73%. Then we calculate an annualization factor, And how do we do that? There are 365 days in a year, and we divide the number of days the security was held into that 365 to get us an annualization factor. And then we take that annualization factor and we multiply it by the raw change in our security. So essentially we're saying what would happen if the security continued to increase in price at that same rate throughout the year. And then so the annualized return is going to be this annualization factor times the raw change in price, all divided by the initial purchase price of the security. So in this case, if this stock had continues to grow at this rate throughout the year, annualized return would be 143.3% per year. All right. So essentially, what you're going to do for each security in your two portfolios, you're going to go through, calculate these annualized returns. All right. So that's what we need to do.